from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for December 2023. So on December 1st, not only are we kicking into a brand new month with a brand new life lesson, a brand new vibe for us to really kind of dive into, but we also have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, and how it is that we express ourselves, moving out of the Sagittarius energy and moving into Capricorn energy. So a little bit of some background here. First of all, we're going to see Mercury sit in this Capricorn energy until about the 23rd. And that's the point which, of course, we are going to creep back into Sagittarius energy. How is that possible, you may ask? Well, if you didn't already know, we do have Mercury going retrograde on December 13th. So once we kind of see Mercury move into this Capricorn energy, of course, we're going to attempt to create order out of the chaotic energies, the big thoughts, the big ideas, the squirrel brain ADHD type of manic situation that we've all been sitting in with Mercury in this Sagittarius energy. Capricorn energy, being a cardinal earth sign, grounds us out. It really brings us back down to earth. We put the blinders on. We start kind of focusing in on how it is that we could bring some of these big ideas, these big visions, these new inspirations to life. We really need to kind of put the blinders on. We need to focus in on our to-do list. We have a lot of loose ends that we need to tie up before we jump into a brand new year. But equally speaking, we want to think about the new year. What do we want to do? What do we want to build? What do we want to create? What do we want to bring to life? Capricorn energy is very ambitious, constantly setting long-term goals. And at this particular point in time, we definitely need to pay attention to the topics, to the themes, to the conversations, to the ideas that we're currently percolating on, because we're going to lose sight of that very quickly once Mercury goes retrograde and pulls us back into this present moment and projects us back, looking back at the past. So of course, first of all, it's going to take us back to this time last year. Of course, we entered into 2023 under the influence of Mercury's retrograde in Capricorn energy, and we actually went direct at the 8-degree mark that we're currently retrograding in. So there's a lot of projection back to see whether or not we actually accomplished what we set out to accomplish in 2023, whether or not we lost sight of the vision, of the dream, of the goals that we had coming into the year, whether or not we're still in alignment with that vision, with that dream, with that goal, and whether or not we could breathe new life into old ideas, old projects. Of course, typically speaking, once Mercury does go retrograde, we are going to be kind of rewriting, revisiting, re-editing, restructuring our thoughts, our ideas, our goals, our past. But we're not there yet. So from the 1st to the 13th, we are in a forward motion. We are logical, we are practical, we are thinking methodically. We want a path, a plan, a strategy. But we are a little bit serious and somber, and that can definitely take its toll on our mental health at this time. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of swirling energies. Of course, we're still very much in Sagittarius season, so there is this kind of bouncing around different ideas, different areas of interest, and it may be very hard for us to really concentrate on what is in front of us. Mercury being in Capricorn energy, of course, is really going to turn the volume all the way up on our ability to actually concentrate on one task at a time, because like I mentioned, we have a very long to-do list. Now, when it comes to our conversations, we're going to get real. We're going to get raw. We may not get as vulnerable as we would like to kind of get in some of our interactions. However, we are more focused on real life, realistic type of problem solving, realistic, matter of fact situations, circumstances on what it is that we want to see happen, what it is that we're no longer willing to tolerate. We are definitely more in a, I'm going to call it business type of frame of mind and frame of communication. Again, that Capricorn energy is like the general foreman and really wants to kind of crack down to see what we could do better, what we could improve on, what needs to happen. We're delegating different tasks and chores and thoughts and ideas, and we're really communicating what it is that we want to see happen in a more straightforward, more kind of authoritative type of dialogue. So again, we're kind of taking the mess that was our mental plane, that was our inner realm, very much being highlighted with the chaos, the craziness, while Mercury was in Sagittarius energy, and we're trying to make sense of it. We're trying to kind of build a new foundation in our mental plane on what that long-term vision, that long-term goal actually is, and what it would require from us from this particular point moving forward to align with that vision, with that dream. So the emotion isn't as strong. We're not communicating our emotions or our affections, so to speak, on an ooey gooey level. Instead, it would be just matter of fact. And we're not really dealing with a lot of bullshit. We can cut through that bullshit. We don't have time or energy for nonsense in this Capricorn energy, but we are definitely just wanting to clear the air, wanting to get down to the nitty gritty, wanting to make a list of priorities and start checking those babies off. So again, we're not kind of interested in the light and fluffy details. We want to get right to the point. We want to get to the bottom of the truth, the bottom of what it is that everybody needs to be on the same page and in an understanding with. So when it comes to kind of expressing ourselves, we are very guarded. We kind of withdraw, we pull back. We don't want to kind of explore our emotional realm. We're not very expressive when it comes to our inner realm thoughts and feelings. Instead, we just want to deal with the facts. We want to deal with what is, not what could be. And we want to come up with the most organized situation and scheme possible to really take a good look at all of those ideas that were bouncing around like a pinball machine. Cut out the crap, cut out those ideas, those thoughts, those particular narratives that are not encouraging, not supportive, not improving in our lives at all, and really just focusing in on stabilizing the things that are working for us, the things are going to encourage us, the things are going to support us in moving forward, especially with that inner narrative. But this, of course, is going to put us in a situation where we do have the blinders on, so we may be a little bit too rigid in our thinking. We're not seeing the greater, grander perspective. That was the Mercury and Sagittarius's job. Instead, we're kind of, again, in this tunnel vision. And we, typically speaking, orient to problems, challenges, blockages, obstacles, mostly so that we can get down to the nitty gritty and come up with a path, a plan, a solution on how we're going to kind of overcome the obstacles, the challenges in which we know that we are going to face. But again, that Debbie Downer, that negative narrative could really take us down into a dark pit. So we want to very, very much be aware of what we're focused on, because again, what we focus on in our mental plane is what we manifest. The last thing that we want to do moving into a brand new year is to manifest challenges, obstacles, Debbie Downer, negative Nancy situations. We are definitely in alignment with a new sense of humor, I would say, because the existential dread is the joke, is the punchline for Capricorn energy. So we are going to kind of joke our way through the pain, the trauma, the difficulty, the discontentment. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need to kind of make the best of some crappy situations, so to speak. But especially when it comes to having good ideas and having a goal and having a target, we're kind of fixated on that. It's going to take us a lot to kind of budge and kind of move away from that particular alignment. So we do kind of get sticky, if you will, when we think that we're onto something, when we think we have a good idea. There's really no swaying us. There's really no impacting us. There's really no influencing us to open up our mind to something greater, something bigger. So this is going to be a great time to kind of get down to earth, to get real, to get raw, and to start making some realistic plans. This is time to start getting organized. And of course, the organization needs to start in our headspace. We need to bring order into this mental plane where there has been nothing but chaos. So of course, we really want to tackle, first of all, straightening out our mind space, really applying some kind of order to our emotions. And then we want to really hone in, focus in on creating a path and a plan to get us out of this situation and get us closer to the desired outcome that we are currently piecing together and percolating upon.